Family, Sick Boy episode 2 drops in half an hour from now. And it's just occurring to me, I haven't even taken a look at the first one. Family, without any further ado, let's get straight into it.
Have you ever heard the story of Prometheus? Let me start somewhere near the end.
2084. Is that arbitrary? What does that number mean?
After the Great Collapse, the sick were rounded up like rabid stray dogs. Those who were strong enough were put to work in subterranean farms. First, they would be stripped of all dignity afforded to a human. Then, their bodies would be decontaminated and purged of the stench from the surface.
Guys, there's always that period, isn't there, of dehumanization? Because, rebellion begins in the life of the mind. If someone can contemplate the stars and be like a philosopher, you don't want those kind of minds if you're a tyrant, right? There has to be that dehumanization. Even just to justify what you're doing, like rationally to yourself, you have to objectify so that you can use the person as an object. That's always a step, right?
In order to create an effective cog, you must first bleed out of all autonomy and free will. He or she must stop being human and become a limb. Those who were deemed too sick for work were discarded. To keep them alive would only further drain the earth of vital resources. It was a kindness to let them die. For years, this is how the program would run. But, like many systems that came before it, it was at the mercy of chaos theory.
Right. Chaos theory is kind of the butterfly effect, where a very small change in the system small alterations in initial conditions can radically change the effects or the outcomes, right? You can't stop that. You can't, we can't get down to find enough details to control everything. And so we inevitably find strange variations in the results, sometimes catastrophic variations.
Chaos theory is often misunderstood. It is an oxymoron, a determined element of chaos, one that can send a whole system spiraling into mayhem. There was a prophecy. It told of a genetic anomaly, a human girl whose DNA harbored immunity to the virus, a blueprint for the future.
Here we go again, right? She's Neo in The Matrix. She's Leeloo Dallas in that Bruce Willis movie. What was it? The Fifth Element, right? She's Jesus Christ, right? There was a prophecy when Adam and Eve fell. It said someone through your lineage with your DNA is going to save you. Someone will be born who is immune to the virus which has overtaken humanity. This is a very similar hero's journey, right? And it's interesting that she's a girl, right? She's someone who the elite and the powerful wouldn't expect. You expect, like a king. You expect someone mighty. You expect someone who's going to be obvious to overthrow the system.
For decades, the humans searched, setting up a global infrastructure of testing facilities in vain. With time, the candle of hope burnt down to a blackened wick. Whispers of the prophecy could still be caught traveling on the wind between members of the sick. Rivaling factions saw it as nothing but a dying superstition. Others clung to it like an amulet of hope. The rich and the elite, of course, used it as a method of control.
Guys, once again, right? By the time Jesus takes the scene. You have the elite who are using this prophecy as a method. Oh yeah, the Messiah is coming, and he's going to be coming through the lineage of one of the the priests, one of the high priestly. And then there were people who was like, oh, that's just a superstition. The Messiah is that's not coming. It's been thousands of years. It's a story we tell ourselves to sleep at night. And then there are others, specifically the poor and the sick, who use this idea as a mechanism of hope, right? Same thing in The Matrix, right? Neo, as in Neoplatonism, right? And Neoplatonism and Christianity have very, very strong ties. Neo, when Neo hits the scene, there's that same kind of thing. There's the agents, which use this idea as a method of control. There's people who've broken free of the Matrix, who don't believe in the superstition of the one coming to overturn everything. I mean, look, this is a similar kind of prophetic tale.
Desperation is a powerful drug. Above fear, above loyalty to the party, the Dominion understood this and used it to their advantage. If you strip man of his basic needs, with enough time, he becomes a beast. Without shame and without morality.
Guys, we're going to a 1984 book club, which was inspired by Ren's love of dystopian literature. And in 1984, they used this same methodology on the proles. The proles have the same kind of freedom as like free-range cattle, right? That their dignity is stripped from them, and they're made to behave kind of like animals. A lot of what we know about ourselves neurologically has been gained from studying flatworms, right? If you take away certain human dignities, we do just kind of resort to our animalistic drives, where we're pleasure seekers. We have a very, very speedy relevance realization, right? And yeah, it's all just about feeding, fighting, fleeing, and reproducing at that point.
Primal. How ironic that the creations and brilliance of man should reduce him to his primal state. I guess with time, everything returns to source. While it was still part of protocol to test every subject for immunity to the virus, the outcome was predictable. There was no suspense. Any hope that testing would bear fruit died years ago. That is until we introduce chaos theory.
So she's the Messiah, right? She's the Messiah, and so they have to crucify her. She's the one who's immune to the virus and therefore can spread her immunity through whatever means, right? Oh, yeah. Guys, this is the truest story. And that's one of the, it resonates deep. I've never seen this before, but I've seen this before. You know what I'm saying? This is the greatest story ever told. This is the gospel. It's been retold over and over and over again in various different ways, but it immediately resonates. It's a perennial pattern. The attempt to break her, right? And she has to seem crazy. It's important that you make her seem crazy, right? So that, a bunch of people don't follow suit. What I'm wondering is why they didn't just take her out, right? Or maybe they're trying to study her. This is what is going to come forward, I think, in the next, because the second one is dropping in 27 minutes. Guys, stay tuned. Fam, here we are. I'm waiting with the rest of the chat right now. It says premiere will begin shortly, November 28, 2025 at 11 a.m. And it is currently 11 a.m. It's 11. It's 11 a.m. right now. So we're waiting for the stream to start. There it is. Oh yeah, we're live, baby. So if you remember the first one, she has been discovered to be immune to this virus, and there was a prophecy about her. And, over time, people became skeptical of the prophecy. They thought that it was superstition. There were, of course, the elites that used the prophecy for control. And the poor and the weak and the sick depended on this prophecy. And they said, yeah, this Messiah is coming. This one who is going to be immune to the virus. We talked about how that was akin to like the Matrix, how there was a prophecy of Neo, the one, and how when it was Neo's time to actually step forth and rescue the people, there was that same kind of dichotomy of some people who didn't believe in the prophecy anymore, others who attempted systematically to destroy it, like King Herod in the time of Jesus, when he wanted to destroy all of the firstborn for the sake of this spooky prophecy being fulfilled. But nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. Hence, chaos theory, right? Chaos theory is this idea that small variations in the initial conditions can have as an outcome giant consequences and disruptions in the attempts of the elite to establish dominance. With that, we have 10 seconds remaining. That was my take on the first SickBoi, episode 1. Here we go. Those with those creepy crowns are the super elites.
You really got people worked up, huh? You don't look all that special. You look weak. Eat.
Don't they always look weak, though, right? Jesus born in a manger, right? Mr. Anderson from The Matrix just seems like this weird kind of introverted loser who spends time on his computer. He's a kind of like a programmer dude, right? They never seem like the conquerors they are. That should be a lesson to you. Let's keep going. Let's let him cook.
You know, it gets a little lonely in here.
Ugh.
No one to talk to. Well, we deal with animals like you all the time. Eat up, princess.
Trying to carve a message with a plastic knife.
Wakey, wakey! I got your food. Sure hope this doesn't make you any more sick. Should have brought you some water. You know you could really hurt someone with this.
Oh, she was making a shank. I should have assumed that she would be smarter than me.
You should be careful.
What has happened? Guys, to me, she seems like high. I don't know exactly what that guy did to her as a result of having the shank. It was some kind of jerky, violent movement, which has kind of thrown her into this kind of paradoxical mode. Yo.
Come on, cat boy.
Hi everyone, this is your captain speaking. We are experiencing some choppy air and turbulence. The seatbelt sign will be on. Please remain.
Guys, horns to me, to a religious man, depict power, right? The horn of one's authority. Fill your horn with oil and go anoint King David, right? Wherever there are horns, it generally means a very carnal kind of power.
Thank you.
This is bananas. Shout out to Ren for the visuals alone. Guys, I almost feel like they are testing to see whether or not she's corruptible, right? They know that she is the immunity. They've captured the immunity, and they're wanting to see whether or not she can be tainted or toxified, right? Maybe. Whoa. Whoa. Bro, this production is insanity. The sick, remember, the sick are the ones who have heeded the prophecy and who have buried the prophecy in their own hearts. These are the men and women who expect there to be someone who is immune to the nonsense, who's immune to the structure of dehumanization and the structure of tyranny. So the sick boys, right, they broke in believing in this whole thing, right? And are there to rescue her, presumably. Let's let them cook. Shout out.
I really hope you're worth all of this effort. Better be right about you.
You know what's so dope about this? And yes, I will have a SickBoi jacket. Please believe me. Within a couple of weeks or however long it takes to come, I know Christmas is around the corner. I will have the SickBoi jacket. I'm going to wear it. I need it. But just notice the same type of things. Like, I hope you're worth it. I hope that, these prophecies, we did a lot of work. We've lost some men. We've lost a lot bringing about this prophecy, right? I think the scripture says nature itself groans, waiting to be redeemed. There were birth pangs in humanity itself, waiting to kind of produce the revolutionaries, the saviors, the Jesuses. It takes hard work. And so when, Ren puts the bag and says, I hope that you're worth all of this effort. Notice this also. Here's something else to notice. Did you notice that all of that was shot from the first person perspective, right? It wasn't a third person perspective. You never saw the Savior's face. It's almost as if it's you, right? He threw the bag over you. He was looking at you saying, I hope you're worth all this effort. There's something in you that needs to be born. Remember, even in the days of Adam and Eve, the first prophecy, right? When God told Eve, out of your own womb will be your deliverer. It will be something which comes out of you, which delivers you, right? Man, shout out to the theme. Shout out to the perennial pattern. I'm going to watch this again. Let me know if you're down for a round 2 watch.